David Daniel Ducker here, and today I wrote a scene in which our daring heroes have finally arrived at the frontier of Mu. Our heroes, of course, are the daring dragon riders, uh, Cleonike, Iode, and Jamila. So in this chapter, they meet the first knights of Mu that they're encountering in the story. And these knights are armored in these giant magical suits of armor, large enough to fight a dragon, which is why this is the only kingdom that can rival Lemuria, in fact. And Lemuria, being built on sorcery and dragon fire, we have Mu, which is built on opposite principles. They are built on alchemy, on artifice, on a kind of primitive magical science that is quite different from sorcery. So we have this very tense meeting between these two cultures. And that's really the theme of the whole chapter, is expositing on the differences between the cultures and expositing on Mu in particular as they meet their first representative of that culture. In the first draft, I've named him Jadeki, which will probably change. It's not a great name. So, what are the contrasts? We're going to have small contrasts like the fashion, like the way the cities are built, like the food that they're served, the way the food is served at mealtime. So all these small changes between cultures, but also the larger issues that underlie that. Lemuria is a matriarchal society. It's a feudal society. So they're very much warlords. And of course, their power is enforced with sorcery and with dragon fire. Whereas in Mu, their erstwhile ally, the people they're hoping to become allies with, Mu is more of a centralized bureaucracy. It's not a democracy, it's not a republic, but it is a strong bureaucracy. It's a meritocracy. Everyone takes these aptitude tests, and you are assigned the job that they think you would be best at. They're very centralized. It's very hard for them to make any changes or take personal action or decisions. Everything's by committee. It's just monolithic, huge government, which has some strong upside to it because they're able to make these long-term investments in their society and in their culture and have these mass movements of people and machines and personnel. So that's great, but they lose a lot of flexibility in that. And also, of course, they're a patriarchy. So they don't respect women to a huge extent, whereas in Lemuria, it's the exact opposite, where women don't really respect men that very much over there. So that will be a continuing friction between the two cultures in the story as well. And there was another point, which is the colonial nature of Lemuria. Lemuria was founded by the refugees of Atlantis when it sank. They conquered the native dark-skinned Lemurian people. So you have this upper class of lighter-skinned people and this underclass of the darker-skinned native peoples of that region. So there's a lot of racial conflict in Lemuria, which is embodied by Jamila, the first native Lemurian dragon rider. Whereas in Mu, they don't really have these racial issues. They have many races, but they're just not a racist society. So they see them all pretty much as equal. They are sexist, but they're not racist. And they're not a colonial power in that way. So basically, I'm expositing to you because this chapter is all about exposition. Not a whole lot happens. We have some tension at the start, but once they've met, it's kind of exposition by example as they talk to Judeki, as they go into his castle, as they eat dinner with him. They learn as characters about Mu, and of course then the audience learns about Mu as well. So that is what I wrote today. In the comments below, or as a video response, what did you write today, authors? I know there are some authors watching this. This is a quick 5 or 10 minute way to build your platform, to give everybody a snapshot, because we can't publish material as quickly as some people, but we can talk about it as we're writing it and bring our audience on that journey. So do that below, and I will keep doing that here. Until I see you again, I'm David Daniel Ducker, signing off.